What's going on, everybody? I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World, and I'm about to head out of the house or out of the hotel room. I'm in New York, and I'm about to walk around the corner to a movie theater to go see Straight Outta Compton with my daughter. And I wanted to just say something about that real quick because what's funny is that now we live in a political environment where you can't look at the nuances of an argument without people thinking that you're on one extreme or the other. So, for example, if you say something good about hip hop, people think you're a defender of hip hop. If they think you or if you say one thing negative about hip hop, they think you're a hater of hip hop. And I'm neither one. I was a huge fan of NWA. They were my favorite group back in the day. Ice Cube was my favorite rapper when I was a kid. But as an older man, I've reflected on just what I felt that NWA brought to hip hop, and I don't think it was all good. Any young person who wants to really know what good hip hop was in the early '90s needs to check out X Clan. X Clan was a dope group. They were 100% black. Everything was empowering. Their music was incredibly good, and I think people should know about X Clan the same way they know about NWA. All of hip hop is not gangster rap and NWA. There was so much diversity at that time, which is something that young people don't really have access to now because music has been so commercialized and prepackaged into this, just this nonsense that it is in so many cases. But anyway, the other thing I thought about too is that it's interesting because, as great as Ice Cube was with NWA, and I do feel like he was one of the key architects of the group. I mean, Eazy-E, of course, pulled the group together, and he was good in his own right. But Ice Cube's lyrics made sense. His voice was perfect on a beat. He wrote the best lyrics. And then you mix that with Dre's beats, and you just had an amazing group. And so, at the same time, though, you had a group of disturbed young people who grew up in pretty much a war zone, who weren't just reflecting on what they saw around them, they were actually glorifying that environment. Now, remember, there's a difference between saying, say, like a Curtis Blow used to say, or whatever, like, these are the breaks, this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing poverty, I'm seeing homelessness, I'm seeing people struggle. That's one thing, but when you're glorifying it, like, my calling card is an AK-47, or I'll blow a nigga's brains out because he made me mad and stepped on my shoes, or all women are bitches and hoes, or whatever. That's a little bit too much. So really, on one hand, while we might hail NWA as being heroes of an era, their song "Fuck the Police" I think was great in the sense that it did shine a light on police brutality, and they talked about things regarding police brutality before even the Rodney King incident, which I think was very prophetic of them. But what happens is I find that people will take "Fuck the Police" and use that as a justifier for everything horrible NWA might have contributed to, right? When you got songs like "A Bitch Is a Bitch," stuff like that, you're just seeing a group of young black men who just were never taught any respect for women. And it kind of continued downhill from there. I don't know if you remember Queen Latifah making a song, but she started the song by saying, "Who you calling a bitch?" Remember UNITY? And now a woman couldn't even make a song like that without even other women thinking she was crazy. I mean, it's one thing if you got men calling women bitches, but it's another thing when you got women getting mad because you think it's wrong to call a woman a bitch. That's crazy to me. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there. I'm not gonna stop being a fan. In fact, like I said, Ice Cube's music was better when he left the group. In fact, it's actually been really good the last decade. If you haven't checked out Ice Cube's latest albums and you got Spotify or something like that, go check some of them out. He's got some good songs. What's one that we really like? "Your Money or Your Life." It's great. It's a great song that was one of my favorites. So anyway, that's all I really want to say about NWA is that if you're looking for a black or white opinion from me on NWA's legacy, you're not going to get it. I'm not a guy who's going to say they were good or they were bad. I'm a guy who's going to say they were good and bad. But I don't do hero worship. But at the same time, I don't think they should be entirely vilified because remember, South Central Los Angeles was ground zero for the covert drug and weapons war started by the CIA. They used South Central as a guinea pig community. They destroyed that community. They were letting these big cocaine dealers come in and drop billions of dollars worth of drugs on those people with weapons and just all kinds of trauma. Our children had post-traumatic stress syndrome, because you're not supposed to see people getting blown away at the age of 9. And so I think NWA's music was really a reaction to that oppression. In fact, one of my good friends at the time, who was actually a white guy when I was in high school, and I didn't understand when his father said this until years later. But I remember his, my friend. He was one of those white kids that loved NWA, and he was playing "Fuck the Police," and his white dad heard the song, and his dad's reaction was really curious to me. He said, "My goodness, those people are so oppressed." And I didn't know what that meant. I didn't in high school. I couldn't process that properly. Now I look back and I know exactly what he was saying. That oppression causes frustration. It causes. In fact, when I hear "fuck the police," that's what I hear. I hear angry black men. Because "fuck the police" is something that resonates. I know very well with me in the sense that I don't believe all cops are horrible people. I don't believe that at all. But sometimes when you get situations where cops are allowed to do whatever they want, when cops are allowed to get the benefit of the doubt, when cops go in front of all white juries and get acquitted every time they shoot down a black man, it's hard not to walk away with some serious anger over that. In fact, I do agree with what Minister Farrakhan has said when he said, if somebody's shooting at your kids, you shoot back. And I know that was a controversial issue this week with Yvette Carnell and the minister, and I talked to both of them, and I don't know if anybody's really totally satisfied with my position, because I love them both and I wanted to support them both. But at the same time, I will say that for the record, I think that NWA's contribution to the police brutality issue is historical. But at the same time, let's not make them into something that they were not. They were not these wonderful angelic heroes, or these people that were unconditionally good for the black community. In fact, some would say the gangster rap really ruined hip hop. It ruined a lot of black children. There are a lot of kids who are screwed up and don't even know that they could have been something different, because that's all the world has presented to them. So that's it. I'm going to go see the movie, and when I go see after I'm done, I'm going to tell you guys what I think about it, and that's it. And so, and who knows, maybe Monday on the Breakfast Club, Charlemagne will let me kind of talk about it a little bit. But it's their show, so I'm not going to come in there setting the agenda or anything like that. All right. Well, anyway, you guys take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.